For more than 25 years, St. Luke's Child Protection Center has responded to the needs of abused children. The center is a safe place where children can be heard and where they can begin to heal.
We opened about 25 years ago, and at that time, CPCs were really a new concept. So I think the hospital really went out on a limb by supporting the mission to protect kids in the manner that we wanted to do. We certainly apply for grants to offset some of our costs, but it is because of St. Luke's Hospital, the St. Luke's Health Care Foundation, and perhaps most importantly, the donors who believe in what we do, that we're allowed to continue the work that we do every single day. 90% of our cases are child sexual abuse allegations. We also know that 40% of the kids that we see are under the age of 6. 2/3 of the children that we see are girls. In alignment with national statistics, our statistics show that 90% of kids are victimized by someone that they know.
Some of the things we see with real young children are changes in behavior. Their sleep patterns may change. They seem stressed out or clingy to parents. Sometimes they don't want to go to somebody's house for some reason. Just indicators of many things that when children are upset, but those are the things we look for in young children. In older children, we see changes in behavior, maybe some acting out, sometimes sexual promiscuity or sexual acting out behaviors, and sometimes we even see some drug and alcohol abuse, the result of ongoing abuse in their lives.
We work with DHS and law enforcement when they are investigating allegations of child abuse. And so we conduct the forensic interviews and medical exams of the children.
I think the medical exams serve several purposes. Of course, we want to evaluate the child for any evidence of abuse, so that's one reason we do the medical examination. Many kids that come in here have unidentified problems as well, as far as developmental delays or dental health issues, emotional or mental health issues, and so we can help identify those as well. And probably the most important piece of the examination is to tell the child that they're fine, healthy, normal, and that will help them start the healing process after they've been abused.
Well, the beginning of the interview is just making the child comfortable and developing rapport with them. And once they're comfortable, kind of moving into more of the body of the interview, explaining that they can talk about anything with me. They're not going to get into trouble for anything they say, any language that they use. And that when we are talking, it's just important to remember to be honest and to tell the truth.
Well, kids sometimes just don't know. If something's happened to them, they may be wondering if their bodies are okay, if there's something wrong with them, and once they hear that, sometimes you can just see the relief on their face.
All of our cases involving children start here at the Child Protection Center. Sometimes the children that come up here, not only are they assisting the investigation and bringing some of these people to justice that commit these crimes, sometimes it's the only time that these children have seen a doctor in years. So it's not just for the case that we're investigating, they're also seeing a doctor and getting those referrals and those medical services as well.
Oftentimes the services at the Child Protection Center are very essential in the collaborative information we get from them and helping us determine whether or not there is enough evidence to prove that child abuse and neglect has occurred. We utilize the forensic interviewers as well as the medical staff in part of juvenile court proceedings as well as criminal court proceedings.
If your kid needs some help, if they have been abused, if you don't have a child protection center and trained staff to try to find out what's going on, you have to rely on the police department to do that, and they're just not trained as well.
The CPC is an invaluable resource to our community. It gives our community a place where children who have been abused or neglected can go in order to talk about the things that happened to them, in order to give us what we need to begin the investigation into those matters and to make sure our children are safe. When we go to trial, we can tell the jury that we have gone through all the necessary stages of an investigation to make sure that the disclosures made by children were done in an atmosphere that ensures that they were credible. And when we present that to the jury, we can say, look, this child was not improperly influenced into all this. They were put into an atmosphere with trained professionals, and the investigation was done thoroughly, and we can go to the jury and say, let's put these guys away for what they're doing to kids.
The cost for the interviews are $300. The cost for the exam is about $600. Unfortunately, there is no source of reimbursement for the forensic interviews. For the medical exams, we receive some reimbursement, and the reimbursement that we do receive is for the sexual abuse exams. The Iowa Department of Justice Crime Victims Program does support us by giving us $500 for each sexual assault exam that we conduct. But if you look at the exam and the interview together, there's obviously a significant shortfall for those services that we provide. If CPC was no longer here, it would have such a negative impact on children. Children would have to go through numerous interviews. They would have to be interviewed by DHS, by law enforcement, perhaps by a physician or a counselor. And that's obviously not the best way to do a child abuse investigation, and it's certainly not the best way to deal with child abuse victims.
It's one of those things where you hope that you never have to have a kid come to the center, because if he does, then you know, or she, there's an issue of some type and you need to be looked into or investigated.
Well, I would just encourage our local community and the other communities to continue to support the Child Protection Center.
Please, please continue to help these people that are supporting and protecting the children in our community.
If we didn't have the center, I think you'd have people just saying, I don't know what to do, what do we do? And you might call one resource, maybe law enforcement, and they would do the job the way they know how to, but we might miss other pieces. And so here we can do it all together.
It's good to see children happy when they leave here. They skip out the door, you know, they pick their prize, and to know that they have a good supportive system when they leave here, and that's what's going to move them on to the next stage of their life.
Child abuse can affect anyone. With your support, we can help our children. Give to the Child Protection Center so we can always protect our children.
I think knowing that we make a difference in the lives of the children that we serve. Certainly, kids come here under the most unfortunate circumstances, and I think we have the unique opportunity to really make a difference in their lives and to hopefully start the process of healing for them.